There's been discussions about the candidacy so far. With the elections next year, when you look at this, are we making headway as a country with our candidate who has also been in the eye of a storm following the local events in the country, the political events in the country? Where are we with matters AUC?
Well, I'm controversial in this, so I don't promise you anything. I would say the way Winston Churchill would say, I have nothing to give you except tears.
Are they premium?
Yeah.
Are they premium tears?
So I have nothing to give you but tears.
Okay.
Because I don't think, in the first place, any serious Kenyan who really want Kenya to prosper and Africa to prosper would have urged Raila Odinga to be a candidate at 80 years. For an executive position that is reserved by the continent for people who retire between 50 and 70. And if you look from the past, whether you're talking about the man from Mali, or you're talking about the man from Guinea, Gabon, Jinping, or you're talking about the lady from South Africa, Dramini Zuma, or you're now talking about the gentleman from Chad. They are all Faki. They are all below. They were all below 60, and by the time they are retiring, they whatever. So I don't think it's fair to basically assume that Raila will assume the AU seat at 80 and then continue to govern the African continent at 88, because you have 4-year term, so renewable, and then is at 88. I mean, if you look at the Joe Biden and what has happened to him, just let's be honest with the biology. Let's remember our biology classes that that which is born must also reach the age when you can say this is aged, and eventually it will age out. So that is the first Kenya's cardinal sin. That's not only Odinga's sin. It is the nature of our politics. Whereby you come up with a scheme that looks like it's a win-win situation for Raila and win-win situation for Ruto. Now, it is in Ruto's interest basically to have Raila Odinga on his corner, because without Raila Odinga, he would not have managed to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. He needed Raila's number. And why Raila? Because Raila is the only politician in this republic, from the time I can remember, 1994 to date, who has managed to put his community in one party, whether he is in NDP, or he is in LDP, or he is in KANU, or he is later on in wherever. He has managed to carry his people with him, or the vast majority. Two, they have this devotion, which is almost religious, not even ideological. It is ecstatic. He pulls the crown to the point that if you are looking for matters, you'll get them. And that is very worrying for other politicians. Let Uhuru Kenyatta try that. He can't succeed. Let them try it in Western Kenya, where Tangura Mudavadi, they can't. Let them try it at the coast, they can't. But Raila somehow has managed to mobilize his community around him, not for 10 years, but for all the years of his political life. I can guess from 1994. And as a result, then, it is more convenient for William Ruto to stabilize. And William Ruto is just borrowing a leaf from what Kenyatta had done. The handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila had nothing to do with the love of the nation. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. It was not the love of the nation. It was the survival of that political system. Because how would Uhuru, with the numbers having been taken by Ruto in terms of parliamentary, how did he have governed to the end of his term? He needed Raila in order to give him numbers in parliament so that he can pass his bills, particularly the financial bills, that would enable him to spend and therefore pay for the various things that he was doing. So keep that in mind, that the AUC seat is simply a carrot. That may not be for Raila, but to ensure that is something. But look at it. What does it actually mean? What does the US seat mean for Kenya? It is not about whether we'll have a seat there, because that's a paid salary. I mean, a salaried job. So why would we be talking about how many? We had Mukisa Kitui in Anactad. We have had other prominent Kenyans in other positions. Why are we obsessed with this seat? Because it is the only legitimation for Ruto and others to spend on Raila as an opposition leader. So we find ourselves as a country caught up in what is a mongrel democracy that do not make sense to our grandchildren. How can you be the opposition leader and your top members of your party are in government